Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Nanya Sin. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn on your notification so you are notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to you all for the support and love you all give me here. You are super awesome. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about Eli Crane, right? Who actually called black people colored people on the floor. And I know we are slipping back to the Jim Crow era, but using the words colored people means we never left from Jim Crow. I keep saying it, Jim Crow never left. It's just like evolved and has always been on the ground. Just saying. They call black people racism, like whenever black people try to speak up about the discrimination, the redlining, and the evil things they do. They are always in black people's business all the time. They never want to leave, and that really sucks. And I am super sure that this man knows what he was saying. If anybody tries to tell me that he doesn't know or he didn't know what he was saying, you are part of the problem. He knew what he was saying, and he wasn't, and the fact that he wasn't even faced either makes it even worse. And anyone trying to defend him, if you ever try to defend this man, you are part of the problem. If you ever try to say he misspoke, the truth is that he has been using this word, probably not in an open place, but today he slipped up from, not even slip. He said what he has been saying behind, in front of everybody. And he was caught. Black woman called him to order to retract the word because she found that very offensive, using colored people for black people. All right. Anyways, when you see the video, just look at this man. He is wearing black shirt on a black tie. I mean, who does that? Racist white people would love to. Should I say they would always love us to believe that they're white supremacists doesn't exist, because this is always what they tell us. But look at this video and you tell me what is going on. I'm just gonna roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and straight up here we'll go.
I just want everyone to know while they're watching this video that it's from 2023, yesterday to be exact, because you might watch it and think it's from the mid-1900s.
And though that was unbelievably inspiring, my amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay?
Racists say what? That was Representative Eli Crane, Republican from Arizona. Now let's set aside the fact that he looks like the evil villain from every Bond movie ever made. Nice middle part, bro. You're just a couple of years older than me. The words colored people shouldn't be accidentally coming out of your mouth. It seems to me like you may throw it around a lot when referring to black people or other people of color. Immediately after him sticking his athlete's foot in his mouth, Representative Wh0pped, Democrat from Ohio, said this.
I'd like to be recognized to have the words colored people stricken from the record. I find it offensive and very inappropriate.
Is the gentlelady asking for unanimous consent to take down the words?
I am asking for unanimous consent to take down the words of referring to me or any of my colleagues as colored people.
I can't even believe that's something that she has to say in today's day and age, but I am not surprised. Now let me put the question to you this way, because a lot of people out there don't seem to get it. Eli Crane was discussing DEI in the military, and he's talking about merit. You really think him using the words colored people means he's talking about merit? Think about it. And you're going to call me an alarmist when shit like DEI is up for question or affirmative action. They're saying the quiet parts out loud. You're just not listening. How did we get to a day and age where things like this are so easily said without any fear of consequence? You think Eli Crane is the only one? Listen to what Charlie Kirk said the other day.
In fact, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
You little weasel. You insecure little prick. You got balls. But then again, you don't. Because I bet my life you wouldn't say that shit to their faces. You were given wealth and privilege, you little. And you couldn't even graduate from community college. You dropped out. You don't have a degree. And you have the audacity to say that shit about brilliant black women, that they don't have the brain power to be where they are because of your warped sense of what you think affirmative action really is, and conveniently leaving out the context in which they said those things. We know despite you being born into all that wealth and privilege, the only thing you amounted to being is a fucking podcaster. And that the only reason you think the way you do is because you were groomed as a teenager by a conservative old man from the Tea Party who was 50 years your senior. Yeah, we know. And the only thing you were able to do with it was buy yourself a little microphone and accept sponsorships from sex offenders for your little white supremacist factory known as Turning Point USA to continue to spread that message of your groomer. And so you could think you're famous. The fuck out of here. I see right through you, Charlie. I got your number. It's just sad that the people that listen to you, agree with you, or believe the shit that comes out of your mouth don't. None of these conversations from the right, be it about DEI or affirmative action, is actually about fairness and merit. Not when it comes to shit like this. You could stitch that. Bye.
My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay?
All right, now to catch you up, that was Representative from Arizona, Eli Crane. They were debating the abortion and military bill. They don't want, which they passed with overwhelming GOP support. They don't want women in the military to be able to come home and get abortion services and feel like they have to pay for it because they're banning abortion. And his choice of words is what this video is about, of course. It's what it's always about. They think that they can say anything out their mouth and not have anyone offended. But somebody was offended. Watch this.
Recognized to have the words colored people.
For what purposes, gentlelady, seek recognition?
I'd like to be recognized to have the words colored people stricken from the record. I find it offensive and very inappropriate.
That was Representative Joyce Beatty. And I am almost for certain there are a lot of other people that share her sentiment. Because you don't get to, you shouldn't be able to be blatantly offensive in the people's house. But they do it. They have been given permission to do it. Now, I 3 or 4 guesses as to where that permission could have come from, because they used to think this shit. Now they're saying it outright. Now, I don't know if he goes home into a time warp back to the 1960s and 50s and 60s, but we are not our ancestors. And he's going to fuck around and he's going to find out. Because they clearly don't mind looking stupid all over this internet. Know who these people are. Vote them out, because if you don't vote them out, you're contributing to the problem.
Y'all, you gotta love how Eli Crane is now trying to say he misspoke when he said this.
Inspiring. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay? It has nothing to do with color of your skin, any of that stuff. What we want to What we want to preserve and maintain is the fact that our military does not become a social experiment. We want the best of the best. We want to have standards that guide.
Eli, baby, the only reason why you misspoke is because you are so comfortable referring to black people as colored when there are no black people around. And you forgot where you were, didn't you, baby? But you gotta also love that they always say things like preserve and maintain. We want to preserve and maintain the racism that we have, the bigotry that we have. Eli, it wasn't you misspeaking. You've referred to black people as colored before this. You were so comfortable, and that's why it just slipped right out of your mouth. And it's really sad that a black congresswoman had to get up and ask that those horrid words had to be stricken from the record. Eli, just a word for you. No amount of gaslighting is going to convince us other of who you are and the racism that you are so comfortable with. Yeah, this wasn't you misspeaking. This was your authentic self saying how you feel, and we see you for who you are. People, when you go out and vote, you need to understand who you're voting for. Because if you voted for Eli Crane, you put a check mark on a racist. Let's do better.
I really find it funny when white people come in my comments and call me racist, but y'all never acknowledge your racist ancestors and your racist parents of today. We are being called colored people on national TV, and I'm racist because I want segregation. Why would I want to be around people like this that disrespect me? Why would I want to be around people who don't even call me by my correct name and just give me natural respect? Why should I be around you? Why should I bless you with my presence? Why should I bless you with my money? Why should I bless you with my energy and engaging in your society? Bitch, I'm ready to segregate. Please, black people and like white people come in my comments, please don't say nothing. I don't care. I'm not obligated to like you because I'm colored. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, we're all not connected to him. Unfortunately, if you look like a snake, you talk like a snake, you're a snake. I'm not going to put my life at risk for it because I might go to jail. Goodbye.
Unbelievably inspiring. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not color.
Good afternoon, TikTok. I fucking hate it here. What fucking year is it? What the fuck did he say? Did he just call us colored people? What fucking year is this? What year is this? Where is he from? What backwater fucking country, damn town is he from? Where is he from? How? How? Sweet Jesus, how? Oh, this is what we doing in 2023. That's what we doing. Let's go on and bust that Furman and just drown us all. Fuck it. What? It's 2023.
Does anybody else get really exhausted from Republicans playing dumb and pretending like racists aren't just drawn to their party like flies? I am too. Hold on.
Though that was unbelievably inspiring. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody.
Colored people? I mean, really? Who colored them? I don't... Who uses these words still, like, just in their everyday vernacular, other than racist pieces of crap? I am so over Republicans pretending like they don't understand that they're appealing to the lowest common denominator in this country. And I would be embarrassed if I were them, but they're clearly not. Colored people? What the fuck?
My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve.
That was Eli Crane, a U.S. congressman from Arizona, using the term colored people to describe black Americans. And that's not archival footage. That's from this week. Crane was immediately reprimanded by Democratic Rep. Wh0pped.
I'd like to be recognized to have the words colored people stricken from the record. I find it offensive.
For context, colored people is a Jim Crow era pejorative phrase used to describe black people, usually as a way to designate places or things they were restricted from using. Crane used this term on the House floor while speaking in favor of his proposal to end race-based training for hiring, promotions, and retention within the U.S. Defense Department. He argued that focusing on diversity and inclusion puts the military at a disadvantage with countries like China and Russia, which do not have race-based programs in their militaries.
The military was never intended to be, inclusive. Its strength is not its diversity. Its strength is its standards.
But the United States is a very different country than those mentioned by Crane. While China and Russia are ethnically diverse, they're both racially homogeneous. 91% of people in China are Han Chinese, and 81% of people in Russia are ethnic Russians. The US has a much more racially diverse population, and our institutions should reflect that. Programs to ensure organizations like the military become more inclusive and racially diverse help to accomplish that, and are necessary in a country like the United States where opportunities were restricted based on race and gender. The military wasn't fully desegregated until about 60 years ago, and it takes longer than a generation to undo centuries of institutionalized discrimination. That's why these programs matter. Not to give people an undeserved advantage, but to try and make up for undeserved disadvantages that are embedded into the system. Crane's proposal, which passed in the Republican majority House, is part of a larger effort to end diversity and inclusion measures in the United States. This was passed alongside other amendments to the defense budget that would restrict access to healthcare for transgender persons, as well as abortion services for pregnant people. But before the defense budget is passed, it has to be approved by the Democratic-controlled Senate, which looks unlikely as long as Crane's amendment and the others remain in place. Follow our page for more updates on Congress, democracy, and everything Arizona.
Oh dear, so this is all I got from the stitches. And first of all, I'm going to start by saying, if you find this okay, I guess you are part of the problem, because we wake up every day to some racist shade from the Republicans and all that. And the truth is that this man has been using this word, on his own, probably where black people are, or not in a public place, probably within his circles and all that. So for him to say this thing out loud on the floor means that he has been using it, and nobody will tell me otherwise. And I just don't understand these people, really, because they are unbelievable. But then if you ever think that Jim Crow ever left, no way, it's been on the ground all this while. And the fact that, like, they also have to ask him to retract the word. How do you wake up to use such a word? What is hard? How is it hard to call black people or African Americans? How is that even hard? Because I don't get it. I don't understand how people choose to be red to the season every damn time. Any little time they get, they want to use it against black people. Or sorry, not even, they want to, they want black people to actually see who they are. Oh, there is something that I actually have learned since I started talking about this American history and the rest of it. The truth is that when people show you who they are, do not make excuses for them. Because if you are making excuses for them, you are also part of the problem. Now, he has already shown us who he is. Are we supposed to make excuses for it? This is left for us to accept, man, this person is red to the season. And I am sure people around him are red to the season, because if nobody called him to the order, nobody actually called him to the order, just like the black woman also spoke against it and was like, that is very offensive. That is a derogatory word to use on black people. Man, I really don't make all these things make sense, because I am not understanding it. I rarely see where black people wake up to use some slurs or something on white people. I don't even see that at all. But every day, each day that passes by, you see them wanting to take black people back to the 70s, 60s. Back then, because he was trying to take them back to the Jim Crow. I know Jim Crow never left, but wanting to also bring it back is something that amazes me. They keep saying it is 2023. Stop talking about it and it's going to go away. It is 2023, and they are showing black people every reason why they are red to the season. How are they not supposed to be careful? How are they not supposed to? They don't want to. Why would they want to trust you? Because you all have proven times without number that you cannot be trusted. How do you want them to trust you? How do you want them to be free with you? I mean, it's just sucks. This is where I am going to draw the curtain. Thank you so much for the support. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye for now.